So can I invite Jennifer to the stage, together with her panelists, Dina, Pooja, and Susan. Okay, Jen, up to you, my darling. I'll leave it in your capable hands.
We were supposed to be, we have to do things differently, and things change instantly when I'm working. So if people think there's going to be a structure, forget about it, because it'll change as I stand here, okay? So thank you everyone for being here. Can we have the rest of the beautiful people coming in? And I'll introduce you on stage. How's that? Susan, would you like to join us? And Dina, please. Thank you. Please. So we're going to be talking today about, what are we going to be talking about? Does anybody in the audience know what we're going to be talking about?
The latest movies we've seen.
Okay. What else are we going to be talking about? Today we're going to be talking about how it is that we are going to break and shatter the ceilings of how entrepreneurship is done and how business is done, okay? And to join me, we have some amazing people. I'll start off with Pooja. Pooja has been in a corporate role as a data management expert. And of course, one day she decides that she's going to give all of that up because she wanted something to do with change. And we'll come to that a little later. And we have this amazing lady, Dina Mari. Did I get the name right? Okay. Dina has been in this amazing thing called recruitment. It works for a very prominent bank in Egypt. But then she decided that that was all okay and we have to do something different. And today she is with a beautiful magazine called the HR Revolution Middle East. I'm sorry about that. I forgot to tell everyone that she runs a company called Habibti. So we'll get to know a little bit more about that. And then we have this amazing lady who's flown all the way from California to join us today, who's going to shift and change how things actually function. She has been in the international business realm and has actually been with traveling and managing events for over 28,000 people. So we're going to ask them today, what made them actually shift and change to what they were doing, and why did they actually choose to do anything got to do with change? How did you all, I'm going to ask an open question and each one of you just answer the question, right? So now, what made you all change what it is that you were doing? If you could start.
What made me change what I was doing? I would say in some sense I didn't change what I was doing, I changed how I was going to do it. So I had a strong business background in marketing, sales, and strategy, and I had a driving personal need, and I feel most people do, to find purpose that is more, that runs deeper and is more essential than just our career activities. And I wanted to blend those two. And the result was Smart Women Rising, which deals really with business models, business opportunities, and transformative training for women in business who have that sense of spiritual calling and want to make a difference.
Brilliant. Dina, what about you?
Thank you so much. Okay.
Before we get into what Dina says, I just want to give a little bit of a twist to that. Dina comes from the land of Egypt. And many people do not know, and I'd like to let everyone know, that in 1165, was it?
1165.
Ramses III was the first person to actually discover women empowerment. So can we give a round of applause to this young lady who's decided that she's going to make a change in how things are done. Please.
Thank you so much. I don't know exactly if the word change is that suitable, but I want to get a new
ideas,
new perception,
okay.
And even if I'll use a change the mindset. Okay.
No.
Okay. Change the mindset and change the perception of HR in the Middle East. I discovered that, or I realized that there is a
Truly-
huge gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, a huge gap between theoretical and academic HR
Totally.
and HR practice, real HR practice. There is another gap between HR and Middle Eastern companies and HR and multinational HR practices and multinational companies.
So are you trying to change that to bring people to really get to know
Yeah,
what
yeah.
it is and to bridge the gap perhaps?
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, to bridge the gap.
What about you, Pooja?
Thank you, Jennifer. For me, as Susan pointed out, one was a sense of deep purpose. And second, as we heard all of us during Mustafa's session, where he spoke very passionately about passion. So for me, it was a combination of these two aspects where I felt triggered by the need of all working women, young girl students. I thought I need to give some purpose to my life, and if I have a solution, bring it to the world and address that need. My solution with the Habibti is reaching out to all women and young students who are spending 6 to 8, maybe 10 hours in corporate lives, in their schools, colleges, and they do not have access to basic hygiene products, which a woman should have in public places. So this is, as a responsibility, we are passing it on to the organizations, to the communities, to the schools, to make sure that no woman ever goes with the lack of access to such products when outside her home. So there is a bigger purpose behind it.
Totally. But again, it comes into how is it that each one of us have been able to see the gap and now have created a business from that. So hats off to all of you for doing that. The question over here is, how many of you actually thought that copying is something to do or innovating? Which one do you think, innovating or copying a business model is something exciting? What do you think about that?
Okay, I got a big opinion on this. Which is better, to try to copy or repeat proven models or be innovative and create your own? I absolutely come down on the side of innovation.
Yo, Sana, where's she gone?
I come down on the side of innovation because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, that's got to be your driving force, that you see a gap, you see a need, you see something that's not being addressed in the marketplace. If it's not being addressed, old systems are not going to be able to cope with what it's going to take to address it. So I not only believe that innovation is the way, but I also, sometimes you hear, we'll have an innovative idea, but use tried and true processes or tried and true systems to achieve it. And I don't even say that. I say the system and the procedures, the processes you create, they have to be as innovative as your objective and as your product.
For example, if I may speak over there, Pooja has created something that is an interesting product that every lady should actually have access to. But then we were talking about how have you been able to create a product? Is it a copy? And I remember having that conversation with you, and you said to me that it had to be something innovative because it's something that carries your trajectory as to how you'd like the business to go forward. Can you speak to that?
Yeah,
please?
that's very true, Jennifer. So you can copy in bits and pieces, but you have to put it all together as an innovation, and that's how most of the startups, if you see, evolve. And also, okay, just deviating from Habibti a little and looking at e-commerce space, for example, if you launch a shopping site or something in other part of the world, you have to make sure that you keep innovating or customizing your business model to suit that of the market. So innovation is something which will keep you going. You can copy once, but you will be done if you don't innovate further.
And what about you, Gina? What do you see as being different about HR revolution?
It may be shocking for some of you, but I see it's okay to imitate. We face the confusion of to imitate or to innovate, to imitate or to innovate. To innovate, as Pooja said, will give you much weight, but it's okay to imitate, and it has some
Advantages and
advantages that you avoid the initial R&D courses, and you find fast investors, and we all know that Google wasn't the first search engine, Facebook wasn't the first social media application, even Tesla wasn't the first electric car. The matter of it's okay to imitate in some pieces and in some features, but you have to have your footprint. You have to do your homework and to...
the research is important.
Yeah, and to customize. So what fits in Silicon Valley, for example, it may not fit in Middle East.
Correct.
Yeah,
okay, so in all the approaches that you all have been, you've started your businesses and done everything, can you tell us if there have been any bottlenecks involved? What sort of bottlenecks did you actually experience at all?
I think niche. I don't think it's niche. I think it's more narrowing the focus and the message of what you're going to deliver. So women are futurists, I think, by nature. We see, in 30 years, I will have changed the world, will have changed. And so getting very, very, very niche specific, but then getting very, very specific about both message and what you're going to deliver and how you're going to deliver it. So if you're a visionary, and for me I am, and driven by vision, it's hard to actually narrow it down.
Okay, did you face any bottlenecks from society, from governments, from countries, as to what it is that you were wanting to start? Because I think in every different country, we have different challenges. So my question is, how did you actually go through those bottlenecks, if there were any, and how did you actually were able to overcome them? Can you share it with the audience in case anyone is wanting to start a business now?
I'll just say this. I've been self-employed, an independent contractor, not an entrepreneur, but an independent contractor since I was 22 years old.
Okay.
I have always picked my jobs and designed new talents that I wanted to develop or new skills. I'd find the job that I could earn some money while I was learning it, whether it was learning Portuguese. I got myself based in Brazil.
I like the idea, yeah.
And so I learned on the job by finding a job that would enable me to learn what I wanted to learn. So, and also I was in industries that had no glass ceiling.
Okay, cool.
I was in the travel industry. If you had 2 arms and 2 legs, and you maybe didn't even need that, if you could do the job, you got hired.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you for the question. Indeed,
how many
everything is challenging us. Everything. We have faced financial challenges, technical challenges, and even personal challenges. I'll start with my personal one. As you introduced me, I'm keeping my daily job, so I have to keep my high performance in my daily job, that I love it. And I'm responsible for the development of my startup, as well as I'm responsible of taking care of my 75 years mom. This was a huge challenge to...
so I have a question for you.
To maintain work-life balance.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So is the passion for actually having the business or the HR revolution way stronger than any of the challenges?
In HR revolution, yeah, we have challenges. We started HR.
My question is, in the challenges that you're saying that you have, is the HR revolution that you've started, is that more important and more dear to you, that you may manage every challenge and come out on the top?
For sure.
That's all we want to know. Can we have a round of applause for this young lady?
Thank you.
What she's doing over here has not been done before. Let me tell you that. To be able to help people to understand it, to bring industry experts to actually show that HR is not just a function. They are business leaders who contribute to an organization. Without people, your business won't function. So how about we actually pay attention to the people that are the most valuable asset to any organization? To all of you here, give yourself a round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Thank you. So mama, job, bankul masru, all
And my
okay.
life.
In
My
your
life.
stride. And you just go ahead.
In my life.
Cool.
Okay. As well as in starting HR revolution itself, we have faced lots of bottlenecks, such as we started with zero budget for marketing. And we used your sentence. We use your sentence. The relationships and communication is much important than money. Another technical challenges that we were hiring only HRians, HR professionals, and most of people don't know that they can write. So they are HR professionals and they have the idea, but they are not writers.
You help them.
Also, HR Revolution is published with 12 languages, and this is a very huge burden over the shoulders of editors and translators.
Right. What about you?
Every day is a challenge, Jennifer. Startup.
You wake up and it's a challenge, is it?
Yes, it's
And a
startups are
celebration.
full of challenges. It's a long journey. It's a long way ahead. Even from the conception stage to the idea of getting yourself a legal entity and then moving on. And especially for my line of business, my startup is about women hygiene products, which can be a little sensitive subject to discuss. So fighting with the perception in the society and reaching out to people at large.
I need to ask a question. So when you're talking to people about the sanitary products that you have, how many men do you approach?
You'll be surprised, but men are so receptive. I think we all ladies here are talking of women enablement, but we know there are a lot of men out there who support the ladies.
Yeah, give it up to the men, man. Men in the house, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these men are true gentlemen who say that they want to make sure that their women colleagues do not face any problem like this. They are so warm and so empathetic in understanding this. So I'm very surprised and I'm very proud to share that fact.
So how many men do you meet who are HR managers and logistic managers and functional managers, whoever it is that you approach?
There are men at every stage. So our journey starts with the HR, which obviously owns up the cause of doing the gender sensitization at their organization. Then we meet people in facilities who are responsible for anything that happens at the premises. And then you go into a discussion with the procurement. And so there are men involved at every stage.
So may I just make something that has just shown up is, what an amazing thing you're doing. You first are educating people at every level and every step. Wouldn't you think that she's doing a brilliant job of educating people? Thank you for that. So thank you for bringing that. Now, the one thing that I want to ask is, with all the challenges that you ladies have experienced and all the no's and naysayers, you all are resilient in standing up to be the change makers, the catalysts, and the people who are the mavericks. So what exactly is it, can you share with us, is what value addition and impact does each of your businesses bring to the world? Could you share that?
We're going very much in order here.
Whatever.
I have two areas of impact. One is specifically for women, I would say, over 50, who have really a deep longing to fulfill the purpose of their life, and I would just say they've been busy, and we could say distracted, for the first 50 years.
Correct.
So these are women who are smart, they have success, they have the degrees or the accolades, the rewards, they have everything that should be able to launch a business. They have 50 years working against them. So I definitely help women define purpose and to get really nitty-gritty, get down to what's really stopping them from moving forward with authority in terms of being the driver in the driver's seat of their own destiny. And the second area is for women, not just their age, but younger, which is to help them understand how, why, and how to break the habit of being pulled in 101 directions by 1,000,001 things.
Before you pass that, I still have a question for you. Not letting you go that easy. What made you actually come into this?
Because I'm my own client.
Good, thank you. I wanted to know what actually changed. Why the driving force? Why the passion? What
Yeah.
happened with you? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well,
I'm putting you on the spot.
no,
please.
not at all. I love true confessions. Women, I'll speak for myself, I'm proud of being able to do anything. As I say, a woman over 45, her resume is 2 sentences. It's basically, what do you need to get done? I can do it. Have you done it before? No, but I can do it. And so there's a lot of momentum for having had to solve so many problems in so many different domains. Yesterday I talked about juggling, we've talked about wearing many hats. We're also really proud of that. And because we're so busy doing that, because I was so busy doing that, and I always had a career, it's not that, it's having the career that I really was called to do. And so because you're so proud of it, you've got so much momentum behind it, what happens is you start blaming everything else or crediting everything else as the reason you are not stepping onto the stage. For me, it's a literal stage, different types of stages. We have a lot of reasons why we're not stepping into who we are. We're really busy, and it's all for really good reasons, and nobody's going to take issue with that. So in my own case, it was also, I would say one of the obstacles, I hadn't thought of it, but in my own case, it was really translating what I had done for many, many years within a church format and translating it into a secular format in today's digital world. It was a completely different thing. You're talking about soul, you're talking about spirit, you're talking about calling, you're talking about listening, and now you're talking about social media and likes. It almost feels antithetical. So there was a translation challenge, and I had to really, really understand. I had to get true to
Who you were.
essential wants that the essential want that everybody has, and not get sidetracked with what I was capable of doing instead of doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, getting sidetracked by capability. And I also say that my platform, Smart Women Rising, is for capability graduates who want to move beyond doing everybody else's job in life and step into what it means to be truly causative. So the distinction is moving from capable, give me one more thing to do, no problem, and stepping into being causative as to what your life is really about.
Right, cool. So value, what value are we bringing? Impact. Let's talk about impact.
Okay. I want to divide the value of HR Revolution into 2 sections, 2 different sections. Our business in media coverage and writing articles and interviewing
So people
HR
actually
professionals.
have,
What?
do people actually approach you for writing articles in your magazine? Or do you interview people for the magazine? Or HR related?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Our main role is transferring knowledge and knowledge management,
Okay, cool.
and enhancing the HR awareness real practices, and to have a powerful impact on transferring HR from the old-fashioned practices to the new techniques and new one. But beside that, we are offering free consultation services and free training programs for startups and women who are deciding to have their small businesses, and they have enough money to get HR consultants or to get their consultation. We are learning them how to make their feasibility studies, how to choose the idea, how to make a real business plan, accurate business plan, how to find the funding, the best funding way, as well as we are training. We have internship programs from Isaac and from. For students and
So,
for
and with your
universities.
additional, your capacities, You're an MBA and you've done SHRM and you've done so many different things.
Okay.
So your value addition actually comes as a proposition for the magazine.
Yeah.
So you're actually changing the face of HR in the Middle East. Would I be accurate in saying that by interviewing
I like
people,
to say
by meeting
improving,
people?
not changing.
So would you like, what if you were to change? Aren't you the catalyst? You are. Are you are you trying to be the catalyst, or are you going to step into being it?
I'm trying to do the bridge.
Okay, cool. Okay. Great. But it's a value addition, so thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
We are trying to drive the change at two levels. One is organizational. Organizations are doing so much for their employees for gender enabling, gender empowerment, women enabling. So this is an effort in the same direction, I will say, which is creating more gender sensitized workplaces. And the second, the final impact or the end user impact is to the women, to the young girls in schools and colleges,
in here.
to all the ladies out there who will not have to face any hassle because of lack of access to proper, safe hygiene products at point of need. Very important.
So that is where you have actually done your customization. So the idea that you had, it was not a copy, cut and paste.
Not at all.
It was innovation, creation in action.
In fact, you know, to make it more technology compatible, we have smart dispensing machines which ladies can go and swipe their employee ID cards to use.
Interesting.
Students can go and swipe their student access cards to use those. It brings a certain sanity and certain, what should I say?
Privacy also, yeah.
Exactly. It's like everything is organized.
Cool.
And there is a dashboard which enables you to check inventory supplies, make sure that the ladies never go without a supply.
That's awesome. That's wonderful. I would like to ask if any of you lovely people in the audience have any questions for our expert panel here. Anybody? Would any of you like to know what it is and how it is? Maybe if you're planning to start off a business, any questions for you?
Okay, well.
Are we done?
You've lost your opportunity because these lovely ladies have lots of experience under their belt, and I assume that what they've shared has satisfied your souls. So should anything else come up, then please do not be shy.
Exactly.
You know where we are. And I would just like to give Jennifer a real thanks. Her and Sandy have, you know, been so kind to be here. I don't want to go into the details. It's really not my place to do so. But when I think about tenacity, and you'll see Sandy in a short while, they're sisters. When you look at tenacity, you look at these girls. They're not shy, but more than not being shy, they're stalwart. They keep going. The ladies from Ghana will tell you about Sandy as well. So can we just honor these two beautiful women today? Because if you understand the backstory, then you'll know why I'm giving them honor, okay?
I know, we're all standing up, we're all honoring one another.
And I would just like you to thank the beautiful panelists, Pooja, Dina and Susan. Thank you so much for being here today to support Jennifer and the work that they're doing.
Amazing job you are doing.
We're really making the place.
Thank you. All right, so round of applause.
Together.
There's a picture moment here.
What are we waiting for?
And Hansel, have we got any music that's becoming of someone at the gala, at the Oscars, where you know, we're moving on the red carpet? Some kind of music that echoes that. We're all gala players here, aren't we not? Because I've got a young lady, and I'll say young, who needs that music, Hansel, because the red carpet's not here.
Cool.
But she is wearing that colour today, so we can assume that the carpet's on her.
You're welcome.